Loki took 6 weeks to accomplish one thing. When the first season completed, we had a lot of things that happened. We learned that there's a time variance authority. That was in the first episode. We had an intelligent guy in Mobius to kind of explain to us how this all comes to be. There was a mystery. There was rules that were provided, like there's no magic that's allowed. That's with the collars and whatnot. And we had interesting deception. What will Loki change his character arc? And from 6 episodes, he goes from a villain who gets to view his whole entire life play out as if this is how it would have been if he wasn't on like a branched time loop, and he got to see himself. So we got a lot of development the first couple episodes. Sylvie variant. They fought a big villain, which was action packed and whatnot, and we got He Who Remains, who we believed at the time. And I just watched a freaking 2 hour Josh Den Nerd's live stream explaining to me how Kang Dynasty is no longer the movie anymore, and that's why Jeff Loveness was pulled. He got this from Joanna, the one writing the book on Marvel. But it was He Who Remains standing at the end of time. He's really important, and this is why Branch. They also explained how times and the sacred timeline stuff, and how there's a guy allowing for only particular paths to happen. Nothing that can create alternate Kangs. So that we learned about that, and the guy at the end. And because he dies, things go haywire, branches go out, which allows for things in our movies like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Allows for incursions like we watched in Captain Marvel 2. There's a lot of things that they kind of accomplished there, and it left us on a cliffhanger. World is over, and he was like, what's going on with the TVA? But in season 2, we started on week 1 with them doing a weekly reoccurring issue where there's a problem that arises, and we resolve the task in 45 minutes. So he could time skip in the middle of in the TVA. That's not allowed. Let's go visit Obi. Well, we already had a really smart guy who could explain things. That was Mobius. Remember him? But here's a really even smarter guy. Okay, fine. Let's go talk to Obi. And we meet Obi, and he explains how we can resolve it. And they walked, and they did the thing in slow motion to the loom, and problem solved. Week by week. And we get introduced to more characters. But the thing is, the characters themselves exist outside of time. There's no way that an arc can be accomplished. Anything that we get from these guys, especially when we get to episode 5, where they're just reversing time. And it's like, none of this matters. And episode 6, where they just rewind to time, so none of the events really mattered. Any arc that we thought mattered didn't matter. The characters didn't matter. Victor Timely is a variant of He Who Remains. Man, this guy did not matter at all. And I'm sure some things were cut out because of the Jonathan Majors legal assault case that he's got, where he was wrongfully charged because some cops coerced this woman to accuse him of strangulation, and then she says, no, he didn't do it to me. Then there's text messages of her saying that. And then the DA said, no, we're going to pursue it anyways. And then when Megan Good and Jonathan Majors' relationship goes public, all of a sudden, I don't know, the woman was back on track, and she was on the team Jonathan against Jonathan Majors. That's the thing that happened. So I think that because Jonathan Majors is having legal issues also, assisting along with the Marvel isn't really doing that too hot right now, and Doctor Doom would be more better than Kang. They would. I think that they pulled some scenes out of the end of season 6, season 2. The ending of this show did have him accomplish one thing. He is a tempad, a one-man tempad. He can control time. He's the timekeeper. He's got the crown and all that stuff, and he has a throne too. And he is a time master. And that's the one thing that this show accomplished. It took us 6 episodes to get there. What does it matter if Mobius went back to sell jet skis with his kids? That doesn't matter. In reality, in actual, the whole multiversal picture that we're watching, the storyline, doesn't really matter. If the other one is a doctor, so? Who's the other one? Sylvie. What did it matter, man? Sylvie worked at McDonald's. Sylvie knew that Sylvie returned back to McDonald's, and Sylvie was just like, yeah, I can remember everything. I still have my memory. So what? Obi, so what? Loki's just really smart now. And he's Tom Hiddleston. They're going to keep the actor, the relationship that they had with him. Even when character dies, they can still keep him. Hashtag recast T'Challa. I'm just saying. It's pretty important. I don't know why, week by week. Well, I know why. But I'll say it this way. Others, week by week, came in here and said Loki's the best show. They celebrated it and they liked it a lot more. I looked at what Marvel's been putting out on Disney Plus. WandaVision was hot. Falcon Winter Soldier faced criticism. Was Hawkeye next? I'm trying to get at, it's very diverse. Moon Knight's not cast, not exactly a white guy, but off-white. We got, who else? Who else is there? There's an Ironheart show coming. They haven't been what the MCU has been. And the shows that got a lot of hatred or more criticism is Marvel for one. They leaned one way. And then Loki season 2 comes and I'm like, yeah, more of the same. It's just MCU stuff. It's going to be just like that last show we watched, Secret Invasion, where they just have a whole complete show play out and no one's really going to talk about the ups and downs about this the next time we see the main character, like Nick Fury in the Marvels. And I was bewildered by how awesome this show is. It's the best show. And I'm like, no, nothing happens, guys. One thing happens towards the ending. That's what they accomplished at the end. But week by week, it's not like there's an event that I can talk about from episode 3 when they were back in time in Chicago, right? Funny how every time they visited a new place, it was always planet Earth, huh? Even though they got access to they can go to Lamantis again. Lamantis from season 1. So going back to Chicago wouldn't matter. Going back to McDonald's in the 80s in that one town wouldn't matter. I'm noticing things like that. Did I ruin the show for you? Do you still stand fast? Like, this was actually the best show? No, Chillmonger, you got it wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. It's the comment section for a reason, but that's that. Chill out.